I'm so glad that there's a woman like Agnes up on a screen, and that there's a story like this up on the screen, and a love like this up on the screen, and also the depths of what it is to be human and what it is to be alive. And all you can ever hope for is that you affect even just one person. I'm so glad that this film is resonating the way it is, and that people are feeling, firstly, you know, and foremost. It's kind of, our whole job is to move things in people, you know, and I was reminded of doing this film that there's power in art, and I'm so glad that there's a woman like Agnes up on a screen, and that there's a story like this up on the screen, and a love like this up on the screen, and also the depths of what it is to be human and what it is to be alive. And all you can ever hope for is that you affect even just one person.
Right.
So the fact that it's kind of had a resounding response is gorgeous.
I think I removed, and the book does this for us, it removes the concept of this great William Shakespeare, the myth of him. It focuses on what you said, this concept of a man trying to find space to be the father that he wants to be the husband that he wants to be, but also to write and to be an artist. And it's a very difficult thing to carve that space for yourself, and even more difficult, I imagine, in that time when he really needs to be pushed towards it by Agnes. Agnes creates that space for him, and I approached it how I would approach any other role, and with great love and respect. And I also had great actors and a director looking over us the whole time. I felt very supported the whole way through.
Steven, not only, you know, he's pretty good at what he does as a filmmaker. He's also a really gentle and soulful person, very, very curious. So the advice and the guidance he gave me is all very tailored to what kind of film I would make, me as a filmmaker. He was very sensitive to that. So it was very, very helpful. And, you know, to have him, you also feel like very safe in the sense that when you have someone like that to back you up, you have a lot of confidence to try new things. We work with our dreams. We're like, well, we might need, we don't have a script yet because, you know, we're just like figuring out we're letting our dreams guide the script. You know, but it's not just Steven. I mean, we have a great, you know, producing team and focus features. They're all very trusting of me. But then I think we all could look at Steven and go, you think that's okay? And he's like, it's exciting. I haven't seen this before. And he's been around for so long. Because he's looking at what we're doing and go, I'm curious about this. Let the young people do their thing, you know. I think it's great.
I heard Chloe put you two through some sort of tantric workshop to bond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that all about?
It was about being in your body, and about, like, I guess that's also like a kind of an ancient practice, you know.
Yeah.
And I think in some way we've become so afraid to be connected to ourselves and each other that it's scary, you know. And there was a little bit of doing that workshop, which at the beginning was a bit scary and a bit like uncomfortable and embarrassing. But once you've done it, you can go wherever, you know. I think it just allowed us to connect deeper to each other and allow each other to be with each other and in our bodies, and allow each other to be seen. And I love that she did it. I mean, I'll always do stuff like that. If somebody,
Whatever, yeah, totally.
if a director like Chloe asks me to do, I mean, that's so interesting.
Totally.
It's great.
Yeah. The film won the People's Choice Award at the Toronto International Film Festival. What did that honor mean to you?
Oh, it's the People's Choice. It's the best award you can get. Because, you know, we make films for people to watch.
I heard that you got Paul drunk for one scene. Can you explain to me that?
I think, you know, it's been talked about more like a skit at this point to make our Q&A a bit more lighthearted after a film. he is a very humble actor. If he could, he would want to say that everything just happened. No, he's a brilliant actor. He had instinct in those moments. You know, maybe he had a drink or two, but he was acting. So, but
Nice.
it's always a great story to tell to get people laughing.
You were also doing a pilot for the Buffy reboot. What made you want to bring that show back to life?
That show was really important to me in my early 20s because that's a show about a found family. And I think many of us have experienced that even more than our own family. Our own families, how important the found family is. And also, it helped me at that time at a very young age process my own shadows. You know, all the vampires and the demons and the monsters in there, you either slay it, or you live with it, you collaborate with it, or you love it. You know, it's almost like each episode, there is an element of ourselves that we can dive deep to explore. So it was very allegorical, powerful allegorical type of storytelling to me, Buffy was.